Hi guys, welcome to Bhagavad-Gita, the highest knowledge which is meant for every human on this planet, and nobody can escape it. So later or sooner you're gonna have to go through this. So let's continue. And it's only by facing conflict that a person transcends conflict. Therefore, if someone makes a decision quickly just to eliminate conflict, then his decision is of no use. He will fall down. He is falling back to his old self. The animal part of humans is very determined. There is no doubt in becoming an animal completely. Living with great determination, they are great believers. They seem to be great in trusting themselves, but their theism is not theism. I don't know how to say the theism. Because what is the meaning of theism for someone who has not known atheism? And one who has not known the pain of saying no cannot attain the joy of saying yes. And the one who does not doubt his faith is worth just a penny. But the one who doubts and the one who lives the doubts and transcends the doubt, his faith has some strength. His faith has some authenticity. So one way is to make a decision quickly, and man takes many paths to decide. If you hold on to some scripture, you will be assured. The scripture will speak in the language of certainty that you should do this and that and believe in them. The man who took the scriptures and decided, he refused to be a human being. He got an opportunity for development, but he lost it. Catch a master like a guru. Whoever caught hold of the guru permanently lost the opportunity. Like even guru is just a means, it's a bridge. So you have to go beyond guru. There was a crisis in which God had left the man helpless. The man saved himself from that crisis. He remained unharmed by not passing through that crisis. And if he passed through that fire, then his gold would shine. If he refuses to pass through the fire because he decided to stay in the guidance of a guru, then his gold will not shine. I do not ask you to decide. How will you decide? The person who is in conflict, his determination will also be full of conflict. When you are in conflict, how will you decide? A man full of conflict cannot decide. Shouldn't even do that. Live the conflict, suffer in the conflict, die and suffer in the conflict. Enjoy the conflict. Do not run away from the fire of conflict, because the garbage will burn in the fire that is visible and the gold will be served. Go through the duel. Consider conflict as destiny. That's man's destiny. That is his fate. We will have to go through it. Live it. Don't rush. Definitely don't hurry. Yes, if we go through conflict, then determination will come. If you go through conflict, faith will come. You will not have to bring it. The faith brought has no value, because the devotion that had to be brought means that the mind was not yet made capable of coming. Bring it quickly. The faith has to be created means that there is a conflict-ridden mind behind it. It will remain alive inside. There will be a layer of faith on the top. It will be superficial work just on the top and will not give the work on time. When times are tough, death will loom ahead. So I had a very firm belief that the soul is immortal. When I read Gita, I had strong faith. When I used to go to the temple every morning, I was sure that the soul is immortal. And when the doctor will stand nearby and his face will look sad, and the people in the house will start running, and the pulse rate will start falling, then suddenly you will realize that you don't know whether the soul is immortal or not. So this is the reality. Because no matter how many Gita or Bible or Quran are recited, the soul cannot become immortal by reciting them. The soul is immortal, so they say. That is another matter. But the soul cannot become immortal by saying so. And if you believe someone, nothing is going to happen. Yes, go through the conflict, endure the pain, that is the opportunity. Don't try to avoid it. Arjuna is also trying to escape, but Krishna is not trying to save him. They pull off the whole conflict. Otherwise, Krishna would have said, "Don't worry, I know everything. Don't talk unnecessarily. Have faith in me and jump." Krishna could have also said this. There was no need to say such a long Gita. Such a long Gita is a great respect for Arjuna's conflict. And the fun is that Arjuna asks the same thing again and again. And Krishna does not say that you have already asked this, but he gives more explanation in respect to the previous answer. In the same way, a storyteller repeats but adds on new factors with the old. So because I am also a story writer, so I know. Then he asks the same thing. All the questions, different types of questions of Arjuna in the whole are not different. Only the terminology is different. But in my opinion, it's asked so by Arjuna because he is representing all the mankind. So different personalities would have different doubts. So in that sense, Arjuna covers up everything. That is what he is asking. His conflict is coming back again and again, but he asks different questions to represent all mankind. Krishna does not tell him to keep quiet. Why Arjuna has disbelief? Be silent. You disbelieve me, Arjuna? But Krishna answers every time. He didn't say like this. Arjuna's conflict arises again and again in new forms. Krishna is not eager to convince him. Krishna is definitely eager to bring him to faith, which is Shraddha. And there is a big difference between belief and faith. Belief is that what we impose from above without resolving the doubt. Faith is what which results from the fall of doubt. Faith is the destination reached through the journey of doubt. Beliefs are blind foundations held by the fear of doubt. So I would say, live the conflict, live it with intensity. If you live slowly, it will take a lot of time. If you put gold in lukewarm flame, it may take lifetime for it to shine. So live intensely. Conflict is an essential test of man which enables him to judge his ability to reach God. Live, don't run away, don't escape, don't seek consolations, don't create consolations. Know that this is a destiny. There is conflict. Fight. Enter into this conflict with intensity. What will be its results? There have been two consequences which are possible. As soon as a person is willing to enter completely into the duality of his mind, a third point is also created within that person. A third force is created in the addition to the two. As soon as a person agrees to live his duality, not two, but a third state starts with him, the third force, that which decides who will live the conflict. He is outside the conflict. He is not within the conflict. So I will give you an example. I have heard that Saint Teresa was a Christian mystic woman. She had 3 quarters, and one morning she said in the village that she wanted to build a big church. I have got a lot of money. People were surprised because yesterday also they had seen her begging. People asked where did so much money suddenly come from, with which there is a plan to build a big church. She showed her alms ball. There were 3 quarters of money inside it. People said Teresa has gone mad. Well, we already thought that there was something wrong with Teresa's mind. In fact, the minds of those who go towards God appear to be little messed up as compared to those who do not. We already thought that your mind was somewhat loose. Will you build a church with 3 quarters? Teresa said, I am there. There are 3/4 and the God is also there. Teresa plus 3/4 plus divine. They all said, where is that God? So Teresa said, she is the third force, she is the third power. You will not see it because you have not been able to discover the third power within yourself. The person who discovers the third power within himself becomes able to immediately see the third power in this entire world. You are looking at the conflict, but do not realize that the one who is seeing and understanding the conflict cannot be in the conflict. He will be outside the conflict. If two are fighting within you, then surely you are outside of both of them. Otherwise, how will you see? If you were attached to one of the two, then you would not have been identified with the one and separated from the other. But you say, there is a conflict going on. My left and right hands are fighting. My left and right hands are able to fight because I am a third force behind these left and right hands. If I am my left hand, what internal conflict do I have with my right hand? If I can see this conflict, then I will become a stranger who is outside of the conflict of these two hands. If I am my right hand and not the left hand, then the left hand has become alien. Where is the internal conflict? In order to see the conflict, I have to be a third person who is the observer of both of them. There is internal conflict because there is third person who is watching, which is saying that there is a lot of conflict in the mind. Sometimes the mind says this, sometimes the mind says that, but who is talking about the conflict of the mind? Enter into the conflict and recognize this third person. As we enter into the conflict, this third witness will start becoming visible. And the day this third one appears, the dualities will start disappearing. The third is not visible, hence there is a conflict. When the third appears, addition begins. But don't run away from conflict. The process of conflict is essential. Only by passing through that which is beyond the duality, which is transcendental, is found. The entire Gita is an attempt to pull Arjuna to that third point. The whole time Krishna's attempt to pull Arjuna is to recognize the third point. He should recognize the third one. The whole effort is to identify it. That third person is within everyone and also outside everyone. But unless you can see inside, you cannot see outside. If you look inside, you start seeing the same outside. So a question was asked, Lord, you have described Dhananjaya Arjuna as a symbol of human attributes representing mankind's entire nature. And to quote Sartre, he is condemned to be anxiety-ridden. He is like a historical person. You can try to find about that person. So was it not human for Arjuna to tremble at the thought of killing his relatives? Was his idea of retirement from war not in the line with the nature, even if it was an illusion? Like Shakespeare's Hamlet, Arjuna's sadness was also the type to kill or not to kill. Tilak found the similarity of Arjuna's sad state in Gita Rahasya with Hamlet's state of mind. Is this appropriate, the kind of comparison? Whatever Sartre says is absolutely right for Arjun. Arjun's crisis was also existential. Sartre, Camus, Unamuno, Jasper, Heidegger, whatever existentialist thinkers are there in the West, they are exactly in the state of mind of Arjuna. So be careful. Krishna may be born in the West, because where there is Arjuna's state of mind, there is possibilities of Krishna's born. So these were all historical persons. I will just spell out their names if you want to search. I already searched, like Camus, Unamuno, Jasper, Heideggger. So if you want more.